I don't like embarrassing people, and not meaning to embarrass, but doing it anyway, of a gang, a really criminally sick gang, like Seattle's gay base, is dangerous. So especially when you hear what they did. The people who started AIDS threatened to poison me with it for having lovers. And they made a political argument of the parochial claim that having lovers was leading to abortion, so I was immoral. So therefore, they planted the script on me should die of AIDS. And Jay Inslee contributed this concept: AIDS stops with me, which is magnanimous. It's easy to convince one person, easier to convince one person of that than 100, than 1,000, than 1,000,000. Which is why I was trying to convince people to protect the at risk and take safety measures at the very early stages in the early 80s to be careful until there was a way of identifying what was going on. Nobody listened to me because I was outnumbered and outgunned by a much louder, jeering section who were saying, insulting gay people, and which I did not do. I was reaching out to them, trying to help them understand and cope, and doing my best to prevent danger to people about it while we came to terms with it. And they attacked me so viciously, it was mind shattering. That's what led me to say that they're beyond belief crazy. And they're obsessed and have threatened me many, many times to help the people who killed, who were behind the attacks, with the challenge, well, you should have to die of AIDS to prove that AIDS stops with you. And it's just reinforcing the war on sex. They don't care about the at risk. And where it came from, then it was like, don't you dare care about that risk. Now, I've resisted them on behalf of the queers. I'm certainly going to resist them on behalf of my own life. I think that makes perfect sense. But they had a couple of UW dialectical geniuses who took AIDS willingly to say, you can't upstage us. That's the dialectical majesty of UW dialectical. One of them was named Sean Strub, and another was named Michael Foucault. Very influential people. And a partner of Sean Strub named Dolly Myra knew me, so she's one of the people who jeers me. The only time I ever went out with her, she took me to see Monty Python and the Holy Grail. So this Monty Python stuff that gets pouring out of Seattle, just the unbelievable obsession with misdirecting information, misdirecting research, cutting off a person who has actually experienced and investigated. It has nothing, it's not anti-racist because the cadavers I saw were white. My heart went out to them. It's not because I'm gay. I don't like to have people come on to me. I don't like, they say for street cred you have to blow us or something. And this is the mentality. It's absurd mentality. But don't go thinking that it comes from the bars or the psychotics. It comes from the key administration and intellectuals of faculty and administration, tenured administration of places like the Gates Foundation and UW Dialectical and the University of Pittsburgh. And it's backed up by the sort of shrink situation, psychiatrist situation that created Manson and Haight-Ashbury and Jack Ruby in Dallas. It's manipulators. And they'll say, well, you owe us an apology for calling us crazy and perverted. They poisoned me in the mouth to advocate for the people behind COVID. I'm not out to I'm not like them. I'm not going to go out and poach somebody. And of course, Clint Eastwood's going to say, prove you're not like them by getting sick. I'm going to prove I'm not like them by resisting the insane idea that the at risk are not entitled to protection. The insane idea that it's all about selling records for the Beatles. One size fits all. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts, is what they said. The only way that Seattle can change my view of them is to redeem themselves. And they think so low of me that they never will succeed in redeeming themselves. They sided with a brutal child molesting assassin because Midori Goto said he isn't he wicked. He. And if you play back the journey of what they put the entire society through on behalf of those who released COVID, you will see why I am terrified of them, because they are absolutely deranged